Thank you, that bot.
Okay.
Let me get started. What just happened?
Okay, all right, we're live. All right, I'm still getting used to this. Oh, my apologies, people. Um, and we are live. Welcome everybody to another episode of You Know What? Let me just say podcast. I am your host Ray. With me, as always, we have Fada
You're
and we have Dion.
What up?
All right, how you fellas doing tonight?
Pretty good.
all I know is we money in the bank right now. Ha ha!
Yo, let's talk about it. Um, our girl Naomi won Miss Money in the Bank. How y'all feel about that?
This is your last warning. You better watch
Not,
out. That's my
not who I
girl.
was expecting to win, but I'm glad she won.
Oh my God. No, you don't understand how hard I fucking marked out when she grabbed that motherfucking briefcase, bruh. This woman, I have been watching this woman since the first season of fucking NXT. I was watching her before she became a motherfucking Funkadactyl.
Mm.
So this is everything to me. Trinity Fatu, I love you. That's
I
my
mean,
fucking girl.
she's been champion before, but it's been some time, and now she's well on her way back to it.
Her last championship in WWE, I believe they said was it was either 2018 or 2019. It was when she left for TNA. Because she was champion when she left.
She was tag team champions with
Sasha Banks.
Sasha Banks, Sadie's Monet, and there was some things going on that prompted them to just up and go. There's a story there that I'm not going to drag out. You already know, so for those listening, if you know, you know. If not, look it up.
I'm just so happy. That's my girl, bruh. I love
Oh,
this.
it's much deserved. It's no one's denying that. It's much deserved.
It's so deserved. It's long overdue. And that woman is going to win a title. And I want her to steal it from either Bianca or Jade, just to be petty.
You think that's where the story's gonna go?
I think that's where the story is going to go. I think either Jade or Bianca is going to win a championship. And Naomi is going to grab that shit because it's you owe insurance. It's time to
I'm gonna
pay.
do you one better. I'm gonna do you one better. I'm gonna tell you exactly how I want Naomi to do it. I want Naomi to do to whichever champion what Seth Rollins once did to Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. Catch their ass in the middle of a fight. Catch their ass just like that. Which, congrats to Seth Rollins for being two-time Mr. Money in the Bank. Shit. Ooh. They're kicking my ass on Rivals here.
Uh, I don't know about the Seth Rollins thing, but then again, looking at that lineup, I wasn't surprised that he won. I was like, I feel like but uh, I don't know. I'm like back and forth with that. I'm like very.
Rollins Rollins simply being in that match opened doors for a lot of things story wise that I feel like they could have done. But they went the route of Seth Rollins winning the contract and going on to cause chaos like the supervillain that he is.
I agree. I don't know. I just I wanted something different. I think
I mean, I know who he's gonna go after. He's gonna target Jey Uso.
I just wanted something different. It's just maybe it's just me, and it's not that I don't like Seth. I do like Seth, but I felt like his year when he had that world title, I felt like that was just okay. That was your year, and I feel like we're not getting new talent. Like we're not getting new talent pushed. But I don't like it's not a hate thing to Seth Rollins. It's just that I want to see someone new get it. Like he had his time. He's had his time. He is still top dog, and I still look at him as top dog. But I also think like let Solo get it. I think Solo would be an interesting Money in the Bank holder. Like
You know damn well he wasn't gonna win that match. He that was karma.
that
What Jacob
was
Fatu did to Solo was karma.
yeah.
Cause how you gonna bring a whole
Yeah.
nother motherfucker in there to replace me? Cause I won a title. That was karma. Then on top of that, you undermine me in front of the entire world trying to say my catchphrase. Like, nah, Solo was foul for that.
Oh yeah,
He's
he was.
definitely the heel in this situation.
He was.
So yeah, I'm glad he did what he did.
I'm mad it took this long.
Let's see. LA Knight was the favorite. Everybody wanted LA Knight to win because it was his third Money in the Bank in a row. He did not win. Seth Rollins winning because of Braun Breaker and you want to know what it is? Seth Rollins won Money in the Bank because of main character syndrome. That's literally what it felt like. Same thing with Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria. She won because of main character syndrome.
You know.
So and those stories are just to push the story forward, right? We know that Lyra Valkyria is probably going to take it back from Becky Lynch because Becky's still building her. You know what I'm saying? And as for Seth Rollins and shit like that, well, I think the plan so far is for CM Punk to handle that. You know, I think CM Punk is going to handle that, and I think Roman Reigns is probably going to be doing something else. We don't know what it is yet, but I think the whole Seth Rollins situation, that's going to be Punk to handle all of that. As for bruh, first of all, I gotta give MVP to motherfucking Penta.
Mm-hmm.
Penta showed his motherfucking ass in that motherfucking Money in the Bank match.
Yeah, he did.
So I'm glad to see that. Of course, Andrade, that man is a future world champion. They need to stop sleeping on my boy. You know what I'm saying? One of the greatest professional wrestlers of our time, actually, to the point where Charlotte Flair actually took moves from him because of how motherfucking goated he is in the ring. You know what I'm saying? El Grande Americano is a meme. He's literally a meme. You know, but I'm just glad. I'm just glad that both Money in the Bank ladder matches was decent. You know, I'm glad that it happened. But again, I'm gonna give this one to the ladies. I think the ladies had a better ladder match than the men did.
The women had a better weekend overall, if I can be blunt.
Oh, you watched the Worlds Collide?
Stephanie Vaquer, real quick.
Did you watch the Worlds Collide?
I haven't watched that part. That's the one thing I haven't watched yet. But can we talk about Stephanie Vaquer real quick? 3 matches in the span of a weekend, 2 in the same day at that.
Yeah, I know.
Actually, all 3 was in the span of 24 hours. Because they counted it from when she wrestled in SmackDown, then the match she had in Worlds Collide, then the match in Money in the Bank. So technically, it was 24 hours. 3 matches in 24 hours.
It's a lot of double duties pulled, but triple duty by Miss Vaquer.
Shout out to Stephanie Vaquer. They really, really pushing her. I guess we can stick on wrestling. What did y'all think about Mariah May getting to NXT?
Interesting poem. I wanna see where it goes.
There's a bold move, Cotton. There's a bold. Yeah, I
it's
mean,
definitely that was definitely a shocker
they
to
did.
me.
She popped. Like she got a big pop in NXT. So I guess her and Ricky Starks, because Ricky Starks was doing well too. So I, I don't know. It's just like I,
See, I'm trying not to look at her in the same vein as Ricky Starks. I'm trying not to. Because it's like I see a similar path possibly occurring there, but I'm trying not to think too far ahead in regards to that and just let it play the fuck out. But it's certain things that's just like, you know, if they do this, that, and the third, I won't be shocked.
so okay. Oh, I don't see that women's division is stacked, and that's what I'm thinking because the NXT women's division is stacked from time. Just like I'm surprised, and to me, I'm surprised. Definitely, Rick and Julia got called up before um, Data Parker or Kalani Jordan or any of them. I'm surprised they got called up before them. So that's what my
Oh,
head.
again, you're talking about two women who, no disrespect to nobody, but before having any type of contact with WWE, they were already known internationally.
Yeah, I know.
I,
I mean, Julia, yes, but just because they're known internationally, that don't mean they fucking going into work in the WWE. How many times have we seen international? How many times have we seen international names not working the WWE? That
oh, it's happened. It's happened. It's happened. You're absolutely right. I'm not denying that. But I think it's just that I think a lot of their push is based heavily on their resumes. It basically is what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying it's necessarily going to turn out good or bad. Sometimes it do, sometimes it don't. Yeah, but that's the only thing I was really getting at.
Hmm. I don't know. I just want maybe I'm just wanting to see new faces. I think that's the. There's nothing wrong with the old faces, and I'm not like everybody's just booing the hell out of Triple H just to boo the hell out of Triple H. I just want to see new faces. So, because Triple H is like, I don't know. It seems like people done turned on Triple H. Well,
Yeah,
and it's probably because of them letting go of R-Truth, but him coming back in Money in the Bank. How did y'all feel about that whole scenario going
that
down?
was amazing. Can we talk about? Can we just talk about the fact that the internet really bullied WWE to rehiring this man?
No, according to Ron Killers, it's not a work.
Dion, listen,
What?
that was not a work. They
That was not
actually
a work.
fired that man.
They actually fired that man. That was not a
They
work.
actually fired that man.
I know, and then the internet was in an uproar about it, and now days
Oh no,
later,
it was not just the internet. That's what you're missing. It was not just the internet.
It was
Everybody in
everybody.
WWE was upset. Rhea Ripley wore a fucking R-Truth shirt and they had to ask her to remove it.
oh, see, I didn't pay attention to her shirt.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody in that locker room was upset at the fact, bro. They was even talking about it. Like a lot of the superstars in that locker room were genuinely fucking upset. Cause why the fuck would you release R-Truth? That doesn't even make sense.
At one point, he was the biggest draw. He was like really drawing a lot of people in there. So it's just like, why would you let him go?
Bro, it could be the worst fucking episode of Raw, but as soon as I hear stand up and say what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, that's my boy. What? So
Yeah,
when he came back and
Truth
he got the
is
pop of a motherfucking century, first of all, when he revealed his motherfucking face, everybody popped. Everybody was like,
There's like streamer reaction videos of our troop returning money in the bank, and everybody just losing their minds. It's like, oh my god, it's true. It's true.
we want truth. We want truth. All motherfucking week. That's all they heard. They didn't hear nothing. They was even trying to threaten. If you hear anybody starting to "We want truth" there, remove them and don't give them a refund. Well, you're gonna give all 17,000 people refunds then, bruh? Don't fucking play with my boy. That's a former fucking NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
And every
Shout out
like,
to R Truth. I'm glad he's back. I
I'm
marked out when I saw that it was him.
I'm glad he was back too. I was like, because it was just like when you told me he was fired or he was released, I was like, he just had eventually Cena. It's like he's one of your biggest draws. It's like, and like Father done said, like when the segment is going bad, you say truth out there is truth, truth. Bring back a segment.
The only man that ever made Brock Lesnar great character, bro. Yeah.
It's like who does that? It's like who does that? Man,
Solo. He's just solo. Like my girl over here going down the whole hit list of everyone who our has made great character out of pure laughter.
yeah, they got like
You got to say this.
they got whole compilation videos of R-Truth breaking
Hey.
uh making characters break character. And
You can do the trophy.
yeah, Damian Priest has it the worst. Damian Priest got the worst poker face.
Oh,
He
there's no question about that, man. He cannot keep a straight face worth a damn.
he cannot keep a straight face with you.
That's the problem with hold on. That's the problem with a cat who pretty much wears his emotions on his sleeve. He cannot keep a straight face.
He cannot. And it's funny too when he does it. But yeah, that
Ooh, ooh.
that definitely. So I'm glad to see him back. So it seems like you might do a more serious role because he's not back as R-Truth. He's back as Ron Killings. That's
Can you imagine if he's the one to dethrone John Cena and save pro wrestling?
You were
that.
laughing.
It
I
would
wanted to
be,
happen.
it would be, I mean, it would be epic. It would be his first world title after how many years, if it were, and considering considering all the history
Yes, he
between
is
him
a
and Cena
former world
directly,
champion.
yes.
Just not in WWE, but he is a former world champion.
He is a former world champion. So yeah, you got to put a lot of respect on that man's name.
Also, I'm just saying, TNA is where he won his world title, and he was a legitimate motherfucking goon
Yeah,
during his run.
right. So yeah, this wrestling. Yeah. So what a week of What a 2 weeks of wrestling? Because there's a lot of stuff. Okay, let me ask. I'm gonna leave y'all with this. How do y'all feel like? You think Triple H is doing a good job, or do you feel like there's a lot of people? I feel like people are turning on Triple H now, to where he was kind of like loved, and then now,
I feel like I feel like Triple H is doing just fine. He, I'm not expecting perfection from this shit, but from where I stand and how I'm looking at this shit, I'm liking what I'm seeing for the most part. The key thing I'm noticing when it comes to Triple H and the R Truth situation is proof of that. And I'm also waiting to see what they do with Karrion Cross. Listen to your audience. That is the thing that that's going to keep y'all afloat. Listen to your audience.
I don't know. They be fickle. Like you're right, but especially with the hard truth thing. But sometimes they can be fickle too. Um, but
Listening to your audience doesn't always mean just giving them what they want by default.
um, any last words before we move on to our next topic? All right, okay. Proceed with caution. Shout out to the girl Naomi. Proceed with caution. Um, I know we don't. I know we don't talk about this much because there's not that much evidence out there. But I was wondering about your thoughts on the DDG Halle Berry case that's been going on so far.
Halle Berry is crazy.
You know, the funny thing is, you can look at their eyes and tell they're crazy. One of them, like I always say, I bet you one of them real crazy. And I knew it had to be Halle. I
So
think
Halle Bailey,
Bailey. I don't know why I say Barry.
I will, I will say this about this situation. I think it's very
It's always the
unfortunate.
pretty ones.
I was rooting for them in the beginning. I was like, DDG, you better not fuck this up, because there was a video that had went viral of Halle teaching, well, not teaching, but like, looking at him while DDG was singing a song, and the
Mm-hmm.
way that woman was looking at him, you know what I'm saying? That's what created that baby. You know what I'm saying? She gave me the baby maker look. You feel me? So it's just very unfortunate that this situation is going on. But you want to know what is even more irritating? All the motherfucking undesirables that feel like they got a motherfucking say because DDG is a famous streamer and his life is basically a big ass. I don't want to say publicity stunt, but damn TV, your TV's not beyond.
I think the
But
word you're looking for is spectacle.
spectacle works too. Thank you. I'll use the word spectacle. So yeah, his life is like a spectacle, and that includes his his family life as well to some extent, because he had his son on stream before, much to, and the thing about it was that Halle was kind of opposed to like that whole idea, right? You also had a situation in which, after Halle has this baby, she's battling postpartum depression. And postpartum depression, especially when it comes to Black women, can be very, very severe because of all the built up trauma just from being a Black person in America anyway. So it's not to make an excuse and say that Halle, they both fucked up. You know what I'm saying? DDG has some moments where he fucked up. Halle has some moments where she fucked up. Both of them are in this position and situation because that is the result of them being in a relationship. So my biggest thing is that the safety of the child is first and foremost. Dion, your mic is hot.
Ooh, hold on.
Anyway, um, yeah. So as I was saying, like the safety of the child is first and foremost. Um, I believe that at the end of the day, because they was talking about how DDG didn't want his son to be in Italy while Halle was in there, because I think she's filming a movie or she's filming something, and it got denied. So Halo will be with his mother, but I do think there's a wider battle for custody of the child. And I just think the whole thing is so ugly because of the sensationalization of the media. And you got, again, social media vultures and undesirables clamming in their 2 cents every single second there's an update. In the same way with Tory Lanez and motherfucking Megan Thee Stallion, in the same way with the baby and Danny Lay. Like, whenever you see these super public breakups and breakdowns of relationships, you got the motherfucking vultures swooping in, trying to add more salt to the motherfucking wound. So I wanted to watch this silently and quietly as possible, and just watch with an unbiased view. And I just think the entire situation is unfortunate. I don't think DDG's a bad dude. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Hallie is a bad girl. You know what I'm saying? As for the allegations of abuse, it seems like both of them were abusing each other just from what people are saying. Like apparently Hallie had a knife when she was telling DDG to turn his stream off, and this was documented, but you don't see Hallie physically with the knife. So you know what I'm saying? There's that. And then, Hallie had released some photos of DDG apparently being rough with her, but DDG's family is saying that shit is false. So there's a lot of he say, she say, and people are choosing a side. And the fact that people are choosing a side is the reason why I don't fucking like, just talking about the shit, because I'm not choosing no fucking sides. I'm going with what the facts say. I just think it's unfortunate, and I hope that that child, for the sake of both DDG and Hallie, they both figure it out to provide a better kind of environment to raise their child. You know what I'm saying? As we speak, DDG and India Love are getting real friendly with each other. Again, DDG's he's a big streamer, so as to the extent of that relationship, we're gonna wait and see. I personally find it weird that you're trying to be with a nigga that has abuse allegations, but then again, this is their world, and I'm just a spectator. So do you? That's what I'm gonna say on that.
Be honest on you.
Well, I mean, Paul already said everything that needed to be said about the shit. My stance on it is whatever goes on between them personally is whatever goes on between them personally. I just don't want to happen with the kid.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna say this. Y'all remember the whole speech I had when I said, when it comes to women, if you don't like you, it's fuck you. This is one of those perfect examples of that, in my opinion, where it's just like there's people that don't like DDG, and for some reason, just like look at Halle Bailey as this innocent person, but don't want to believe nothing. So even with all the evidence and documents that DDG had to present, people still was mad at him for presenting all their documents and evidence. And then it was like, okay, now we're moving the goalposts, and then now the man can't defend himself. It is just like, yo, what is wrong with people? It's just like, it's like, what? It's like, oh, you abusive, and then he's like, well, she done abused me too. Here's some evidence. Why are you showing that? It's like, do you want this man to suffer? By the way, it's men's mental health month, mental health awareness month. By the way, happy. It's like this is what This is one of those things where it's just like I'm like father. I'm not choosing a side. I'm just waiting to see what happens because I don't have the full details, and it seems like a wild case in itself. But I've seen people that just like, I'm siding with this person even if the evidence is against them. It's like even Melissa Ford was like, I'm 10 standing 10 toes down no matter what the facts say. And it's just like that's very ignorant to do because now you're just choosing a side blindly without hearing the facts. And even if you hear the facts, you probably have an excuse or be like, I just don't care. So it's like I want like I'm mostly mid like on the middle on most topics. I'm like father and I just want to hear the facts before I make the decision. But I noticed that when you stand in the middle, no one likes that. Like you ever had that fella father? Like even like when you stand, they want you to pick a side, and then like when you do pick a side, it's like they didn't want you to pick that side or some shit like that. But
But then my counter to that is why are you trying to maybe pick a side on a situation that don't even goddamn involve me?
they don't care. They just want you to pick a side.
Well, I have a side for them to kiss.
That's but some people will because even when you try to stay out of it, you're the problem for staying out of it, and it's just no, this has nothing to do with it. You know, you look at them and go, no, this has nothing to do with me.
No, Do you know people lose their lives by getting involved in stuff that got nothing to do with them? No. If they got a situation going on over there, I'm staying my skinny black ass over here.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I've done that, but you are also the problem because you are allowing that to happen. I said, you minding your business is you allowing that to happen.
No, the only thing about it is other people's bullshit disturbing my sleep. Something that happened to me a couple of Saturdays ago because someone wanted to fight in the apartment beneath me at 3 in the morning. But anyway,
I'm with you. Look, I'm with you, Dion. That's why I said just I'm going over there. That's what I said. He's like, oh well, you figure it out. Jesus Christ. But like this whole thing, this I don't know. I don't think nobody really should like have a side. You should just look at it and just like learn from it, learn what you can do, and then we should probably learn most about what postmodern. Because I can, but also that doesn't give an excuse to like be all crazy with it. I get how postmodern works, especially with black women, but at the same time, like I don't I don't know. I don't think it gives you an excuse to like go whoop up on a nigga. Because I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Any last words before we move on to our next topic? Uh, okay. Was there anything you guys saw that's interesting that y'all wanted to bring up before I ask?
um, I've been wanting to speak on the situation. What's this dude's name again? Uh, shoot. The story about the guy in this weird situation. He was supposed to be playing sperm donor for this chick, but then the it turned into this big ordeal. I'm trying to remember the guy's name,
I was about to say, what story is this?
and I mentioned it in our group chat a couple of times, and like it would take me too long to scroll back to find those messages. Hold on, because I because it'll be in my church history on YouTube. Okay, Brent Fairley, that's his name.
Yeah, I never heard this story. What's the story about?
Hold on. Okay, so let me see. Okay, I'm sending a video to our group chat for you to put for you to
Send it.
put on the screen.
Send it to the Discord.
Oh, okay, hold up.
'Cause this message is about home zone.
All right, there you go. See it?
Yeah, give me a moment.
By the way, when he says "give me a second," this nigga is trying to push this objective in Marvel Rivals.
I'm trying to defend the objective. They can see
Oh,
it.
you're trying to defend the objective.
Yeah, I'm defending it.
I thought you were pushing. My bad.
Oh shoot, I'm on Rivals as well.
Yeah.
I am not on Rivals. I'm about to play Street Fighter.
I said,
Shit.
okay.
I should join on Street Fighter. We haven't fought in a while.
I think we can hold. Ah, fuck. They got a hella.
And you got it.
But,
You got it.
but
You got it. 15, 14. the Hellas ulting. Captain America with the shield. Captain America will not let this team fall behind. He could do this all day. 3, 2, 1. Ella's trying to hold on as much as she can. Everybody on her ass. It's overtime. Uh-oh. Star-Lord trying to get it in. Star-Lord about to get his ass bust. Star-Lord ulted. Oh, no. Star-Lord with the clutch ult. Star-Lord's pushing the motherfucking objective. Is it over for our heroes? Is it over for Captain America? It's over, everybody. After a valiant effort, it wasn't enough.
This Wolverine was.
I can join on you once I finish what I'm doing here. Oh shit!
That Wolverine was
awesome.
That Wolverine was on my ass the whole fight. So, where'd you put it in general?
Yeah. No, in the podcast messages.
I did.
Yeah, in the podcast chat.
There's a message part in here? Oh,
yeah.
Overchain. Okay.
Got it?
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about now.
So Brett Farrelly, who went viral for his insane paternity fraud story recently, was just arrested and made to take down all of his videos. It's a lot, but I'll give you the quick breakdown.
I don't know if you guys remember Brett Farrelly.
Where's my help?
But I did a whole video on him having a binder of evidence to prove that he was being trapped. Right. This
dirty
has
bastard
ended up with him ending up in jail and arrested. I don't know how this happened. I'm blown away. I promised you guys I would actually find a video so I could, catch up on what's going on. This is the video. Let's check it out.
Down. So Brett is a young man who ends up getting approached by an older woman named Maria who asks him to be her sperm donor. She convinces him with paperwork and everything that it's all on the up and up. He's not going to be legally responsible for this child. Despite this arrangement and them only having a one-night stand to complete this arrangement, Maria ends up finding Brett's mom and grandma and tells them that she's pregnant with Brett's child and convinces them that he should be involved with the pregnancy. His mom and grandma now want to be a part of the baby's life, so they convince Brett that he should be too. So he agrees to start paying child support. But after a little over a year, having paid now $55,000 to this woman for this baby, he ends up taking a paternity test and finds out the baby isn't even his. Not only that, but Brett finds out that Maria likely knew who the real father was this entire time, but refused to disclose it because the real father was married to another woman at the time. Oops. So Brett goes to court for paternity fraud, asking for his name to be taken off the birth certificate, child support to end, and to be paid back for all the child support he did pay. In a kind of surprising victory, the courts actually do agree to end Brett's parental and child support obligations, but they don't make Maria pay him back, and I'm pretty sure his name is still on the birth certificate. The judge also assigns a mutual restraining order for the both of them, meaning that neither of them can ever talk about this case again. Basically a gag order. But according to Brett, Maria broke this order almost immediately by contacting his family, telling them that he's a deadbeat who abandoned his child. So Brett decides that he too is going to defy the order and clear his name. And that's when he made a multi-part series detailing all the lies, how he got played, and also his own mistakes along the way to help educate other men. I actually remember one interview where Brett was asked what he would tell his younger self if he could. And he said that if he had ever heard a story even remotely similar to what he went through, he would have never been in that situation. So his story does have the ability to prevent this from happening. But obviously the courts don't want the story out there. Why? It just makes you wonder, especially when you consider that in other countries like France, it's actually illegal for men to perform paternity tests on their kids without the mother's permission because, in their words, it would destabilize the community.
Oh my goodness, France.
Have to prove paternity fraud is also crazy to me because it's like, did she say the kid was his? Did the DNA test say that it isn't? Seems to me that there was pretty clear deception involved.
Right.
But we do have to learn from this. And honestly, this is why a lot of guys are very hesitant to sign anything until they get that DNA test. This is also why I think it's really important for women to stop taking DNA tests so personally and making it this big relationship ending deal.
Right.
You should want to be able to offer your man that reassurance, and you should also want that reassurance yourself. After all, hospital switch-ups do happen to women too. They can shut him up, but they can't shut us all up. And men need to hear this stuff. Men deserve to know if their kid is theirs or not without being shamed for wanting to know that.
So,
All right, I'm gonna just end it there. I think we get the point. That's what you was talking about, right? Yeah, and you heard everything. Just so.
Yeah. So, hey, quiet. So, short version of what happened is this, right? This lady feeds this man this phony spiel about wanting a sperm donor. Like, there's fake documentation involved and everything, right? So
Oh shit, yeah. Hey man, I'm fucking with you, man.
they go through with it. But then this dude, Brent, he starts noticing some things and gets a paternity test and does a little bit of research about this woman. Turns out the kid wasn't his. She had something going on with a whole other man who was the actual father of the baby. And all this time she'd been this woman was basically stalking and harassing Mr. Brent Faley and his family for an extended amount of time. So in the most recent development that I know of, in the most recent development that I know of involving this situation, basically a gag order was put on them by the court. You know, they weren't to go near each other, talk about the case, nothing. Like it's a restraining order and some more stuff involved. However, this woman was still messaging this man's family, calling him a deadbeat, insulting him, and this, that, and the third. Clearly breaking the said restraining / gag order. So when Mr. Fairley comes forward and says something about the shit, he gets arrested for breaking the order. So whether or not he's in jail or whatever the case may be, I'm not sure. The last I heard of anything changing within the situation was little over a month ago.
I feel strong again.
I wasn't interested in it to begin with. I'm gonna be honest with you. That shit sound like a scam. I don't know.
Oh, it was.
That shit sounds too good to be true. Like, yeah. And I don't know about you, but like, I don't like the idea of like having my sperm out in the world and not being able to take care of it. Even when they say you don't have to take care of it, I don't believe not one bit. I've heard too many stories about that, and then especially when it comes to like lesbian relationships, and then when the relationship is gone, they oh my god, that messed me up. Oh yeah, when the relationship is over, they make the father pay for the child support, and it was just like I've heard stories about that. I don't believe. So I wouldn't believe that thing. So I feel sorry for the brother, but at the same time, you got to be one dumb motherfucker to believe that shit. I don't know. It's just, I feel like you should have had like someone in this corner who was like, "Don't do that shit. That shit sounds stupid." And and not to sound like real stupid, but the woman is Latino. She'd have got pregnant anyway. So it's just like, but let me stop being stupid. Let me stop being ignorant. But yeah, that shit, that's a wild ass story. What do you think, Father?
I had to step out, so I didn't hear all of it. But judging from what I've heard, that's some foul shit. And this is why niggas like me do not have sex unless the woman is worthy. I can do the other shit, oral sex and all that other shit. But when it comes to intercourse, nah, bro, you gotta be chosen for that. I'm like motherfucking, I'm like motherfucking Arthur. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be chosen. You know what I'm saying? I'm like the Neo, the chosen one. Like I'm not just finna stick my dick in a woman because,
Right.
or I'm not gonna put myself in a position where I don't know about the paternity of of the child that I've been tasked to take care of. You know what I'm saying? Because it is really important, and economic times are tough. So a lot of women are getting crafty, and a lot of men are getting very desperate. You know what I'm saying? It's an economic issue. I feel like, and it's also, and when economics break down, social responsibility also breaks down too. I feel like men and women, we have a responsibility towards the children, not just of our own, but of the community as well. You feeling what I'm saying? So it has to be holistic. It can't just be, oh, the man has to take all the responsibility. No, women, both men and women have to take responsibility for situations like this because a child is involved. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to just put out there. Like, it is a very unfortunate story, but we also have to be very careful about the narratives that we put out there.
I agree with that. Any last words before we move on to our next topics? This dick ain't free. What could you tell you? This dick ain't free.
Shit.
Hey, man. God damn it. This team sucks. Anyway, speaking of video games, there's been a lot of video game showcases that's been going on, and there's a lot of things that's been announced, like a Marvel fighting game. We're getting Resident Evil 9. We're getting an Invincible fighting game that's made by the people that made Killer Instinct. I'm I'm somewhat into that since I have a love hate relationship with Killer Instinct. Xbox has had a showcase just to show them that we got games, and then Black Ops 9. I'm sorry, no, Black Ops 7. So we did Black Ops. So
yeah, I'm officially through with Call of Duty. So
so how do y'all feel about some of the new games that's been coming out? And was there anything in those showcases that had y'all excited?
The Marvel
I
game
want to see. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say the Marvel game looks pretty cool. Getting a new Resident Evil, you know what I'm saying? That's also really cool. Capcom is in their bag, first of all. Like they've really been releasing consistent stuff. Let's see what
Marvel's
else.
got a lot of stuff going on with a few different developers.
Yeah, and that's a good thing because Capcom to this day still cares about the integrity of its games. They still want the games to be fun and dynamic. So I gotta give them a shout out.
Where the fuck Thor come from?
Yeah, let's see.
Oh, Thor snuck up on me like a little bitch. Oh, you.
Man, I'm trying to remember a lot of the games that I saw. It was kind of like a blur because it was like a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Splitgate 2 looked pretty interesting. I don't play Splitgate, but like it had a really good showing.
I have the beta for that downloaded. It's actually really fun.
I played the first one. The first one was actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I think the main thing that I was really excited for was the Street Fighter 6 DLC. Honestly.
Oh yeah, what did you think about that?
I think it's a good list. I legitimately think it's a good list. You got Sagat, of course. You feeling what I'm saying? You got fucking Ingrid coming back after a long ass hiatus. I'm pretty sure a lot of niggas don't even know who Ingrid is. She was in Capcom Fighting Jam and also in the Street Fighter Alpha 3 port. I think for
The
it was either the
PSP.
PS1
It
or
was the PSP.
it was the PSP. It was the PSP
PSP.
because there was another character in there too. It
Eagle.
was Ingrid and someone else.
Eagle.
Yeah. So
Yes, bitch. Yes.
yeah, it was Ingrid and Eagle. So
Yo,
yeah, you're correct on that.
I hate
So
Squirrel Girl.
yeah,
I fucking hate Squirrel
I
Girl.
also hate Squirrel Girl. I also fucking hate Squirrel Girl. But
I use her sometimes.
of course,
Nobody
the
fighting
one I'm
though.
really excited for is fucking Sea Viper. Thank God.
Oh yeah.
Because if you remember, Ray, I was saying, why the fuck is she not in Street Fighter 5? Like, they need to bring that character back. That character's fucking dope. You feeling what I'm saying? That character's cool. So I'm glad that she's coming back to Street Fighter 6. And Alex, I'm glad Alex is there because fuck Luke. You know, just like Ray is president of the
I'm
F
just
LeBron gang.
glad that Alex is finally being featured in a game after so long. He's the main one I'm like.
He was in
So what?
5. He was in 5.
Oh, I stopped playing 5 after a certain point. What DLC was he? I don't think he was the original
He's the
character.
very last one.
Yeah, see, because I stopped playing 5 after a while. I think I wasn't in the Street Fighter 5 like that.
Yeah, but like as I was saying, I'm president of the F Luke gang.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You and me both. But that's yours.
Bro,
Yeah,
That's
Luke's
yours.
yeah, fuck that
I
nigga.
just
Luke's a bitch.
yeah, I just bro, you telling me this is the future of Street Fighter? That nigga literally looks like a Limp Bizkit original character. Like, bruh, he's not cool. He's just a whack ass character to me. Like, bruh, you should have replaced him with Sean or some shit. You just bring Sean back and have him do that shit. He's literally the student of Ken. And Laura was in the 5th game, so why isn't he in Street Fighter 6? You gonna put that bitch ass nigga in the game and you gonna have him go toe to toe with fucking Ryu of all people? Like, no, I don't like Luke, bro. But that's besides the point. Let's get back to the games. Yeah, like I think we saw a decent amount of games. I think the Marvel game is probably the one I'm probably gonna be looking at the most. I definitely want more details than that. We didn't get any more details about 2XKO, that League fighting game.
Man, 2SK was dead. I'm calling it.
I really. Oh yeah, we're also getting that new Final Fantasy Tactics pack, and I love Final Fantasy, so I'll definitely be checking that out. I really wanted an announcement of another remake, but they're still they're still on that Final Fantasy 7 grind. I think they're taking way too motherfucking long. I'm sorry, the game is just not that like deep, according to other games, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
What's
like,
not that deep?
7.
It had 3 discs. It was 3 disc games of work. What do you mean?
8 had 4.
I know, but even then, like 8 had, I think 8 had 4 because it had,
compared to other Final Fantasies, I ain't say it was that deep.
8 had 4 because it had better graphics, and I think that they upscaled the graphics and all that stuff. But like that game is deep. There's a lot to do in.
Said it's not that deep compared to the other ones, though. It really isn't. It really isn't.
I disagree.
I'm not saying it to talk shit. It's a fact.
I disagree because 9 was simple. I don't know. I played 9. 9 was kind of simple. I'm not even like I'm not even being a big fan, but there's a lot to do in 7. This like even in like the game I'm playing right now, like
Ray, you forget I played 7.
I played 7 too. But I'm telling you,
so I'm not saying it for no reason. I'm not saying it. I think you're listening with your fanboy ears, and you're not listening to what I'm saying.
Let me ask y'all a question. What's the game do you niggas think you put the most hours in?
That has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, it's nothing to do with nothing.
I'm just saying, you talk about like the content within the game or whatever. Like, okay, let me rephrase the question. What game did it take you the longest to like 100%? Like do everything, find everything.
That still has nothing to do with it. we're not talking about game time. We're talking about like the completedness of the story and all of the elements within it. And I just feel like in the same way that you say 9 is simple, I think 7 is rather simple.
It's the game,
Bruh,
Thomas.
you have the literal live stream, you have fucking terrorists, you have a conglomerate company that is trying to use that motherfucking live stream for energy, and then you got a nigga that was created by the cells of the very life form that they were trying to study. And then the nigga crashes out because he found out who he was.
Are you talking about story wise, or are you talking about?
No, I'm just like I'm just saying it's rather simple to me. In the same way that you said 9 is simple, and I agree with you that 9 is rather simple, but bruh, this like bruh 6, 8, fucking, like bruh, those games, those games go in.
I'm sorry. I played. I told myself I have to go back to play 8, but I remember not enjoying 8 that much.
Which is fine. Which is fine. That's fine. Because like just like you have your favorite, I have my favorite too. So I'm not like shitting on you.
I will agree with you with 6. 6 is a great story though. 6 is a great. I think
and that's what I'm saying. I just feel like I'm not shitting on 7. I think 7 is a great game. I'm not shitting on it at all. Mm-hmm. I'm just so tired of the narrative that every time we gotta talk about a great Final Fantasy experience, motherfuckers just only want to talk about 7 and not the others.
So
and I think that's fair.
Well, I think the reason why is because when PlayStation, God damn, they jumping. When PlayStation got popular, that was like the game that introduced a lot of people to RPGs. Yes, I know there was RPGs on the Super.
I want another Final Fantasy to Cydia personally.
I do too.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Good luck. That's never going to happen. But
I think the last time that got touched, there was some form of a mobile game for it that didn't do well.
Omnia, and it did rather well. They're just fuckheads, and they want more.
Yeah, and the online wasn't that great. They had a PS3 game. It was PS4 game. It was a PS4 game. And
yeah, no, you're talking about NT.
Yeah. Oh, I'm talking about NT. Oh,
yeah, he was talking about Opera Omnia.
Oh yeah, Opera Omnia was great. But damn it, where did I leave off at? Oh yeah,
you was talking about it being like PlayStation 1 game and shit.
Yeah, 7. Look, you gotta look at 7 like Dragon Ball Z. Yes, there was animes before that, but that's the one that introduced everybody to the masses. So that's the one that everybody holds dearly. There we go.
But then I could say the very same thing about 10.
Yes, you can. Which is Naruto.
You know what I'm saying?
That's your Naruto. Yes, 10 is Naruto and 7 is DBZ. And I'm not even talking about story wise. It's just like.
Nah, I agree.
People talk about them.
Like, cause I remember like when PlayStation 2 got real popular. 10 was like selling, and that hit greatest hits in no time.
It was just when niggas finished the game, they literally said, "Hey, yo, this is legitimately one of the greatest RPGs I've ever played."
Yeah,
like 10 is really popular because of its quality. Like to this day, it still fucking holds up.
It does.
And that game was released in 2001.
So
the moral so the story that I'm trying to say is that a good game is a fucking good game. It don't matter how much time passes. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like the Final Fantasy VII remake is fine. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't opposed to it at all. You know what I'm saying? My thing is just like, yo, because 7 is so good, there should be an initiative to also bring some of those games up to light, because 9 is fucking phenomenal. 8, literally, people still talk about 8 to this day because of the story. You feel me? Because of the story, 8 niggas, like, people are still making videos about the story of 8 because they still have theories. That game came out 1990 what? 99.
8.
98, 98, 98. It was Final Fantasy 9 came out like 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got it right. And
Yeah.
then right after that, Final Fantasy 10 came out 2001. So that's all I'm saying. Like, I just don't want it to be this thing where people just, whenever I hear Final Fantasy, I don't want niggas to just be talking about
No,
7
so
over and 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 over.
that I understand, but that's like, can they beat Goku? Which is why I compare it to Dragon Ball Z. That's literally, oh, can you beat Goku?
And you're correct. And you're absolutely correct.
So that I do understand, because I think the next one that would get a remake like 7 will probably be 10. And the reason
I'm gonna
why
say 9.
you think 9, yeah,
I
they
think
have.
it's 9.
You think it's 9? I can see 9. I can see 9. The only reason I say in 10 first because I feel like they're going to go with their more popular ones, and 9 came at the end of the PlayStation 1, so it didn't like. I think people bought it, but I don't know if people remember the story so much. How about you? But yeah, shoot. Oh yeah, back to the. It was on you, Father. Yeah, it was on you.
Oh yeah, no, I'm done.
Uh, Dion, was there anything? I don't know if you was looking at any in the showcases. Did you see anything that caught your eye?
Nothing, none of that we haven't already mentioned.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the Marvel Fighters one. That's the one that caught my eye. Uh, I I guess Final Fantasy Tactics, just because what's funny because that came out right after Final Fantasy 7, and Tactics is hard. And if anybody like, and it's funny because people ask me like, should I get into games like that? And I always ask, how do you feel about turn-based strategies? And yeah, people it was like, because if you're more or less into action RPGs where you could just hack and slash, then that's not the game for you. And people, even when people ask me, do you go back to the old school ones? I tell them, I said, 7. I'm like, okay, unless you like turn-based strategies, and if you don't bother. And also, if you play tactics, tactics is hard. Like that game does not hold your hand at all. That game will frustrate you to the fullest. If you're not like, you really need to be smart to play that shit. You cannot dumb your way through a game like that, which is good. Which is good because it's like chess. It's like their version of chess. But yeah, like I said, I think the Invincible game, it looks interesting, but I don't know. I don't know. I think most of the fighting games. Would you? Hey, by the way, what you think? Okay, okay. Um, I know you're gonna get sick and tired of me hearing this. I did like the lineup for the Street Fighter 6 Season 3 DLC, but I wanted my Makoto. I was like excited and disappointed at the same time. Because when I saw Kenny Omega, I thought it was an AEW game, and then when he turned to Alex, I said, "Oh shit!" And then it was just like, then when I realized what he was doing, when I got to Ink, I said, "Oh." Did you see the designs though? I said all the designs look great. I
Oh
think
yeah.
all the all the designs look great too. So it got me excited about that too. So it was just one of those things where I was just looking at it. It was just like, this has been a great showcase. The Summerfest though, I thought it was kind of boring though. But the Resident Evil 9 did wake me up, so I guess that's a good thing. But I don't know. Any last words before we get to our final topic? I'm sorry, not final topic. Final thoughts. Okay. Um. Now we are on to our final thoughts, and Dion, I'm gonna start with you.
Final thought. Final thought. So we're halfway through the year. What would you rate the first 6 months of this motherfucker on a scale of 1 to 10?
A 5. I don't think nothing's exciting. Like, yes, and even though we didn't talk about Trump and Elon, which is like, I just think that's just like high school shit. But I mean, the Trump and Elon shit breaking out the terrorists fucking people up, prices and all that other stuff. A lot of us me and father been saying, "I told you so," like a black woman in hindsight. That 5. What about you, Dion?
About the same. I got it. See, for me personally, it's the summer that's going to be interesting. You know what? With me getting ready to move and all, I'm not going to be where I'm at in a few weeks.
Oh yeah, you moved it.
Uh, so yeah, that'll how that process goes, and what happens afterwards is that's what's going to make or break things for me as far as how this year's been.
Okay. Hey man, I wish you good luck, and I hope Therese doesn't follow you wherever you go.
Who?
Harris, it's called Therese.
Oh.
But is that it for you? That's it, my folks.
Yeah.
Okay. 5.
I ain't got nothing.
Okay. Like I said, this is men's mental health awareness month, so um, I want I would like all our brothers and that's been going through it. I want y'all to keep striving, keep going through it. I hope y'all have somewhere like a safe space or someone to talk to. I hope that you know that people are out there like depending on you, probably have have good thoughts and make sure make sure like so bad at this thing. I wish I was prepared to play. Go up to a brother see if he's okay. I know like we're living in a weird time where like people are kind of awkward to each other and all that other stuff, but I feel like sometimes a good conversation sometimes goes a long way. Like I was on a metro the other day, and a dude he don't know me from Adam. Wanted to tell me how excited he is about being closer or working somewhere closer to where he lives, so he doesn't have to take a lift somewhere. And the excitement on his face, I just sat there and listened to him, and it looked like he was really excited to get that off his chest and all that other stuff. So I felt like that. I don't know. It made me feel good inside. That the fact that you wanted to say that to me, that was just. Like, but I know like a lot of brothers go through it. But I just like so. I hate this me to cheesy, go through it, but sometimes I feel like that's the answer. Sometimes it's like I hate saying it, but it's the answer. Yeah, sometimes you got to push through it and just persevere through the end. Like whatever it is that I hope like whatever goals you have you set, I hope you achieve those goals, and I hope everything works in your favor. Also, Lilo and Stitch live animated movie. I watched that last week. I give it a 6 out of 10, and I don't. But
I wasn't even gonna. I wasn't gonna bother watching it because they kind of messed it up. I feel like they messed up some things for me.
listen, okay. Here's the thing about Lilo and Stitch, and I'm not going to spoil the movie, but I'm gonna say that some things just don't work live action. Some things just work better in cartoons. A lot of things don't work in live action because sometimes you got to cut corners. and some things don't look as good live action as they would in cartoon form. And I'm not saying don't watch the movie. If you're going to watch the movie, there's a lot of things that's going to piss you off. One thing at the end is going to piss you off. If and Gantu not being in the movie, that's going to piss you off.
Yeah, it's. I already know about certain stuff that I was just like, all right, nope.
Yeah, so this movie,
Because I know enough to know. All right, you done ruined like the main point of the movie, basically.
basically. So it's just like to me,
Yeah, they ruined the whole movie of the story. So you know.
yeah. So there are things that I feel like just I don't know. It's just some live action. Some things is just not better live action. Even though like Lilo and Stitch is basically 1-to-1, you could have just copy and paste and at least could have at least made it 7 out of 10. But no, I said the same thing about Death Note though, and they fucked that up. But
One live action thing I am interested in seeing. I do want to see How to Train Your Dragon.
I think that's gonna suck. But that's just
It looks interesting. I'm a fan of the actual the original series. I want to see where this one goes. This one looks like that it's on point for the most part.
I mean
You
that's not
know,
it's not
it's not a Disney project.
yeah, it's not a Disney live action film, so maybe they will actually respect it more. So I mean, all they gotta do is be better than Disney, and that is, I think people will give it that credit.
that, that that just tells you Disney has set the bar in hell.
The bar isn't held. It's definitely held. But yeah, um, yeah, there you have it. I would like to thank the panel for jumping on the podcast as usual. I would like to thank all of y'all for listening to hear us talk our shit again. This is, you know what? Let me just say podcast, and we are signing out. Peace.
Uh,